People. My cup. People. My cup. People. My cup. This is people. And this is my cup. They empty it. Even those I love, care for, and value beyond life itself, being around them saps me of energy. It's not that I don't like them or appreciate them, and it isn't even a case that I don't enjoy being around them. But my existence as an introvert means that time with them isn't always easy. Yet the whole notion of introvert versus extrovert isn't easy in and of itself, because it's not binary where you fit into one or the other. It's a spectrum with a great deal of nuance in between. And in this video, we'll explore this spectrum so we can better understand one another, so extroverts can be there for the introverts in their life that they care about, and so introverts can better equip themselves in this oh so busy world. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, because before we get to that, we first need to do this. Hi, it's the same guy as in the other scene, but here I'm wearing my figuratively special cape that allows me to tap into some extroverted goodness. Don't worry, we'll get into that and how I do it and why real soon. Right now, I just want you to know this cape is special as it gives me a sense of confidence and charisma, which makes it easier for me to ask you this, nay, inform you to do it. Because this message in this video, it's important, yo. Others need to see it, introverts and extroverts alike. And the rabble majority that exists somewhere in between. So hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Because by taking that simple action, and let's face it, it's a pretty simple action and one that only requires you to press a button times duh. You help more people see this oh so important message. And as you'll see very, very soon, we all need some help with this. Welcome back. I hope that other version of me wasn't too, in your face. I was worried about him. Worry he's a bit too much, too cocky and vibrant, I'm Turned Dog, by the way, your host and guide today, and this is the No Hustle, the place to help you escape the hustle. And although I am but a single person, I am layered and nuanced all the same, as we all are, as you too are, my friend. As a person, I am largely introverted, but, and we'll explore this notion in more detail soon because it's a really important topic, I don't fit nicely into the world of an introvert, because this world we live in isn't binary where one overrides the other. Instead, it's more quantum, where several states can exist at any one time. This makes a spectrum of sorts, where the idea of being either introvert or extrovert becomes mute, because most of us, in some way, slide between the two. But we're getting ahead of ourselves once more, so let me just slow it down a tad. In the coming minutes, we'll explore all this introvert-extrovert spectrum, as well as what this all means from an introverted perspective, and how a fellow introvert can navigate this, as well as you fine and dandy extroverts out there. And look, this doesn't mean you extroverts aren't important and that your perspective doesn't matter, because you do and it does. It's just, I'm not the one to tell it. And as you'll see, you have an advantage over us that we cannot overlook. But before we get to all that, I have a personal story to share with you. And it isn't an easy one to tell you. Okay, so recently I went to a music festival with my lovely partner B. Friday it was to be just the two of us. Saturday also just the two of us. Sunday, the two of us and the kids would join us. Now, the weather was an absolute mare, especially on the Sunday. It made the whole ordeal, shall we say, less than ideal. But it was still fun. And on the Friday, I had an amazing time. To give you some context, I spent much of my 20s practically living at gigs. I'd venture to several of them each week and have a lovely old time. And on this rather wet Friday, I tapped back into some of this, seeing one of my all-time fave bands and coming across some new wonderful ones. I felt free. I felt alive. Yet because I was literally surrounded by all the people, drip by drip, it took from my cup. And so as Saturday rolled around and as the day progressed, my state and general well-being regressed. By the time we got to the evening, I felt pretty close to a panic attack. I just wanted to escape, to hide, to not be there or to be around anyone. The music hurt, the bass in particular getting quite painful between my ears and within my chest. In short, I found it all far too stimulating, and my senses felt like they were on fire. Come Sunday, I was on edge, grumpy, certainly not myself. And the weather, well, that just hammered the nail in deep. Now, I cannot speak for all introverts or those that sway toward that side of the spectrum, but this is my reality and experience. It's always been like this. Even when I'd hit multiple gigs per week in my younger days, the more time I spent around people, the more I began to fracture. Now, it's not that I don't enjoy the time around others or that I stop liking the music or the experience. It's just that it drains me. Others have their cup filled in situations like this. Being around people, well, it fuels them. Not me, and not for many others. And that's a problem in today's oh so busy world. Today's society is fast-paced, to say the least. It's relentless. At all times, we are connected to others. Not usually in person, but to an introvert, that doesn't always matter. A call is still draining. Replying to texts and DMs, yep, those two. Simply scrolling through social media and seeing all those faces and the perceived perception that we need to be present and active and available. And when you run your own business in this hyper-connected world or do something insane like do YouTube videos and all the social media that comes with it, and email and promotion and sales and everything. I mean, it's a lot. It is draining and it's most certainly not easy. And what's worse, it's not even the complete problem, because if it was as simple as introvert or extrovert, maybe we could navigate this world accordingly. But it isn't either or, because this, again, is not binary. We're on a spectrum, and it's hard to know where you stand at any one time. Although some people will fit either on one end or the other, most of us lie somewhere in between. And it's not a set state where you always reside. Take me as an example. If I've done a good job of consistently filling my cup and refueling my mind, my body, my spirit, I will naturally slide further toward extrovert. Not all the way. Oh no, that never happens, I assure you. But I do slide a little that way because I feel more full, you see? more complete. And so I find being around people easier, enjoyable even. Whereas if my cup's been drained for whatever reason, I slide further toward the extroverted end and find myself needing to retreat further within myself. Yet that isn't the whole story. And this is something I think is more common in naturally introverted people like me. Maybe you too can relate. Because we tend to do a good job of wearing a mask. Take that other version of me who asked you to like and subscribe earlier. Hey, do it if you haven't already done so. Over the years, I've got rather good at playing that role and putting on this cape. The guy who can talk the talk, the one that sells and pitches and promotes, the one who does all that dreaded small talk. I live in a busy, hyper-connected world after all. And let's face it, it's a world that largely glorifies extroverted people and places them on a pedestal. They are who we should aspire to be like. Those we should be like. Especially if you start a business or build a personal brand online. But again, I find it easier to wear this mask or put on that cape and own it when my cup has been filled. I find it easier to record videos and post them on Instagram. I find it easier to promote, do calls, be all lively and whatnot. Whereas if my cup's not been filled, if it's been emptied, it's a real struggle. And if I keep wearing that mask and putting that cape on and playing that role, either because I need to for my job or because there's an inner perception that I should, drip by drip by drip, it drains me, emptying my cup more and more and more. Due to the busy and fast world we live in, those of us who sway toward the introverted end of the spectrum face a daily struggle to keep up. And so I'd like to turn attention for a moment to those of you who tend toward the extroverted end, because you play a really important role in all this. It's not that you have it easy, far from it, but this modern world that's really hectic plays to your strengths. There are certain things that are simply part of your personality and being that allows you to more effortlessly navigate this world. And if you want to imagine what it's like to live in this world as an introvert, recall how you felt during lockdown when you had to spend so much time on your own. Us introverts didn't find that period easy either, but we found it easier because our cups get filled when we take time to retreat within. So the struggle you face then, well, that's the one many of us face each day. This isn't on you. You don't need to do anything different per se. But I hope you take some time to reflect on this and to just think about it. Because there are introverts in your life, and some, I imagine, you care deeply about. Family, friends, team members. By appreciating their journey, you can show up for them in a more empathetic way. And honestly, the more empathetic the world becomes, the better. This brings us to you, my fellow introvert. This world you are a part of, it ain't changing. If anything, it will only get faster. As such, it's becoming more important than ever that you fill your cup each day so you can, one, better navigate this world in general, but also, two, wear that mask you inevitably need to wear from time to time. Because let's face it, there are times you need to wear it. You need to show up, even though you may like to stay inside and read a book, or just sit there and stroke a cat. The added bonus of this is that you also get to enjoy life a little more. Because had my cup been more filled at the festival, maybe I'd have been more present and available for the entire weekend, bringing greater joy to my life, but also to the people I love who I shared the experience with. This idea of a shared experience is what it all comes down to. Because we're all part of this world and we are all doing our best to navigate it. We each venture forward in a different way because the spectrum is vast and extremely diverse. And our place on it often slips from here to there depending on our current chapter in life and how we feel in the present. If you're watching this as a more extroverted individual, I hope you take a newfound appreciation from this video for those introverts in your life who often have no choice but to wear a mask because this world we live in simply expects it. If we don't wear it, at least from time to time, we fear we may get left behind. And the unfortunate reality is that we likely will. So care for your introverted folk. Be there for them. Support them as best as you can. And you introverts, this world can be beautiful for us because we often find it easier to see through all the chaos and to tap into our thoughts and feelings and dreams in a way that our more extroverted brethren cannot. It's a gift. And I, for one, would not give it up for anything. But this only happens if you take the time to fill your own cup. Not just for you, but for those who love and care for you, be they an extrovert, introvert, or whatever else. This is the real lesson I took from my festival experience a few weeks ago. Sure, I felt it, and I wish I had better filled my cup leading up to it, so I could enjoy myself more and not feel all panicked and torn at the seams. But that experience wasn't just mine. It's one I shared with a few very important people in my life. I impacted their experience. And that is something I can both own and learn from. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. If you have, please leave a like so others can find it and tap into this oh so important message. And also subscribe to the No Hustle channel for more videos to help you escape the hustle. And finally, subscribe to the No Hustle newsletter so we can share interesting articles, videos, and more each week. It's free and the bee's knees. Finally, leave a comment below letting us know where on the spectrum you spend most of your time and the biggest takeaway you've taken from this video. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being you.